What's going on, beer lovers? Welcome to another episode. I'm Jeff.
And I'm John.
And today we are in Woburn, Massachusetts at Lord Hobo Brewing Company.
And so we actually learned about Lord Hobo through social media, and we figured since we're here in Massachusetts, we might as well give them a try and see what all the fuss is about.
Yeah, so we're super stoked to try these beers. It is freezing cold outside, so it's time to warm up. John, you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's have some beer. Guys, so here is your history lesson on Lord Hobo Brewing Company. It all started with a man by the name of Daniel Lanigan. He actually was a messenger in Boston, Massachusetts several years ago. One day he decided to open up his own craft beer bar by the name of Lord Hobo. That location was in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and it became a huge success. Since then, which was about 10 years ago, he's opened up several craft beer bars up and down the Massachusetts coast. Fast forward to 2016, this brewery opens. And now Lord Hobo is one of the most popular brewery spots in Massachusetts. Their signature beer is called Boom Sauce. I can't explain to you how many times I've heard about this beer before. We just saw people leaving with cases full of it, saying, "We'll be back next week." Funny story, we were actually supposed to be here a few days ago, but we accidentally looked up the craft beer bar instead of the brewery. Luckily, our trip may almost be over, but we made it in time, and we're here today to try these beers. So let's get started.
All right, so my first beer here is actually Hobo Life. And Hobo Life is a 4.5 ABV session IPA. It was made with Citra, Horizon, and Chinook hops. As most of you fans of the show know, I'm not huge on IPAs, but I am interested because I've heard so much about Lord Hobo's IPAs that I'm ready to dig into this thing. So cheers. Actually nice and dry on the back end. It's got very mild bitterness to it, so it's not going to blow out my palate, which is good because it's a good beer to start with then, although they're all bitter and IPA, so I'm not really worried about that, I guess, now. Clean, crisp, very light citrus notes, which I was expecting a little more from the Citra hop to maybe bring out a little bit more of it, but yeah, clean, crisp, nice mellow bitterness, dry, good way to start. Low ABV, 4.5, so its drinkability is a little higher than maybe like a double IPA or something like that, but for a session IPA, so this is good.
Alright guys, so the reason why we all came to Lord Hobo in the first place, it's time for some Boom Sauce. This is a 7.8% IPA. It's brewed with Zeus, Mosaic, Chinook, basically just a shitload of different hop varieties. So, gone a long distance to get my hands on this. I'm ready to get down and drink some. Cheers. Wow. You are definitely actually getting several different hop varieties out of this. You're getting floral, you're getting citrus, you're getting tropical. It's very light, very bright. It almost kind of drinks like a lager in a way. The malts are there, but really the hops are the star. I mean, this thing's got like 6 different hop varieties, and a lot of which are not your typical super popular hop varieties. So I like it. This is very different from what we're normally used to. I can see why it's super popular. Man, worth the trip.
So next up is actually Glorious, and it is 6.5% Galaxy Pale. Made with Galaxy hops, Horizon, and Zeus hops. It's got a nice, beautiful color to it. Just nice and actually a little hazy going on there, right? I'm very, very fascinated to see what this actual beer is going to be. So let's check it out. So this is actually really delicious. It is not overly hoppy at all. I'm getting some tangerine going on. Not a lot of piffiness to it at all. One of the things that I don't enjoy about IPAs is the bitterness. And so with this, it's a Galaxy Pale, but it does not have a lot of bitterness. It's actually very sweet, almost like biting into a tangerine and just enjoying that sweetness. It's also got a little lemon zest going on to it maybe, but it's probably one that I would definitely choose to drink again.
So the next one up is called Consolation Prize. It's a double IPA at 9.5%. Again, this is another one using a ton of different hop varieties, one of which is Falconer's Flight, and I just realized that's one that I've had back home that I actually really like and didn't understand why more people weren't using it. So I guess thanks Lord Hobo for putting it in your beer. Cheers. Well, that is definitely a double IPA. 9.5%. You know, I guess when you've been drinking 6% hazies for weeks on end and you pop a double IPA in your mouth, it's a little bit of a shock. This is not a consolation prize. This is the prize, because by the time you finish it, you're gonna be shit-face hammered. Again, great mix of different hop varieties. The malts are much stronger in this one, as it should be with a 9.5. This is a really good beer.
All right, next up is Steel This Can. It is a 6.5% ABV, and it is an IPA. This one is brewed with some Zeus, Warrior, Centennial, Chinook. It's got a nice golden color to it there. I don't know if you guys can see that. There you go. I'm interested to see what flavors I actually get out of all these different hops mixed in with this thing. So let's dive in, check it out. Some beautiful fruit notes. I can't really put my finger on it, but definitely some citrus. I almost get a little bit of like banana on the end of this. Slight mineral taste as well, but it's good. Okay, again, this balance that they have going on with these hops and their malts, it's beautiful for me because it's not blowing my palate out. I can't put my finger on what the fruit is, almost like Jeff likes to say, like a candy tangerine in a way, but definitely beautiful, sweet fruit, deliciousness, a little banana on the back end. Like I said, I could drink this. I could drink this probably for a good while without getting the bitterness coming out, because the finish is very dry. This is good. I am actually very impressed right now by Lord Hobo and these IPAs. I was expecting something that I didn't want, and I'm actually enjoying these. So great job, Lord Hobo.
So they only have 6 beers on draft here at Lord Hobo. Obviously they're killing it, but I'm down to the last one, and this is a pilot series, so a small batch. This is called 1801. This is a 8.1% double dry hopped IPA. It uses Ella, Mosaic, Citra, and Centennial. Great hop varieties. Double dry hop tells me this is going to have a ton of flavor. We actually talked to some of the people that work here, and they explained to us that Ella is one of their favorite hop varieties to use. It's in just about every one of their beers. Man, let's dig in. Cheers. This is definitely my jam right here. Wow, that's so sweet and delicious. It's like just biting into a ripe piece of fruit. Orange, tangerine, peach, little bit of pineapple in there as well. The malts are nice and sweet, but the body's still light. It's 8.1%. I would say it drinks more around the 6% range, which also means you can get pretty hammered pretty fast off these. This is one of those sneaky beers where I could take down a couple pints and it's only been 20 or 30 minutes, so damn. I think I know what my favorite one is. All right, guys, so John and I have tried all the beers here at Lord Hobo Brewing. It's time to tell you which ones our favorites were. So, you want me to start first or you start first?
I want to hear what you have to say.
Okay, so what I will tell you is one of the best parts of coming to this brewery is the fact that they make all IPAs. Probably one of the reasons John may not like this brewery as much. They make all IPAs. However, for me, this is heaven. This is absolute heaven. And on top of that, all their beers use some very unique hop varieties, a lot of hop varieties that we don't have back on the West Coast, or at least we don't use. So it's a nice change of pace. Now, there were some big hitters here. Obviously, Boom Sauce is their go-to. It's their staple. And I can see why. It's incredible. Their consolation prize, that double IPA, really intense, really fun. For hop heads out there, that is going to be your Lord Hobo beer that you want to go to. But for me, I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact that it's a small batch pilot series, but 1801, it's double dry hopped, it is delicious, it's fruity, it's refreshing, and it drinks like a much lower ABV beer, which means I can get drunk with my friends, and I won't even know it's happening, until it's too late at least. John?
You know, I probably...
All right, so Jeff went with the double IPA, which it's good, right? Not a huge fan of IPAs, but that's all I had to pick from while being here at Lord Hobo. And you know what? That's fine. So they are mastering their craft of actually brewing IPAs. And that's beautiful because now they will start to expand into other things, but they have their solid foundation of the beers that they want to do.
Yeah.
Great job.
Well, no,
That's exactly what you would probably want to do if you open a brewery. Now, my choice, though, I went with a beer that I felt was less bitter, right? Let's get honest. Those that don't like IPAs, you don't like it mainly because it's just too bitter, right? So what I actually went with was Glorious. And Glorious is a Galaxy Pale, and it looks like a hazy, which it is a hazy.
Guys, John just picked a hazy beer as his favorite beer.
I did.
John picked a hazy beer as his favorite beer. Just let that sink in a minute. Let that sink in a minute.
I will say they have porter, like a porter on the tap list, but it's not a Lord Hobo porter, so that's all right. So yes, Glorious. This beer right here was not overly bitter, and it was not overly hoppy, which is what drew me to it. It was sweet, delicious, dry, just beautiful, but not overly bitter. So I picked the less bitter beer on the list.
There you go. Well, guys, that's our review. We're here visiting friends that live in this area, so we're gonna kick back, celebrate with them, have a few more pints, and we'll catch you later. Cheers.
Cheers.
We had a great time here at Lord Hobo, tried some incredible beers.
And we just want to thank everybody for their hospitality. Brendan took us into the back. Matt, oh, thank you so much. Sorry we missed you, Dan. Maybe we'll get you next time.
And guys, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Until then, we'll see you next time on Let's Have a Beer! Yeah.